Hey, so hello everyone and welcome back to the new video. And in this video, we are going to talk about something really cool that Supabase recently did. Or I'm not sure if they recently did, but I just came to know that they have created something really cool and they thought we wouldn't even notice. So without a further ado, let me just begin the video and we will get into to see what it is and how it works. So I have a terminal open right here, and what we are going to do is we are going to write a command on which is npx create next app, and then we are going to use this hyphen e flag, and then we are going to write with a hyphen supabase. Actually, it is supabase. So when I press enter, it is going to ask me what is the name of my project. So for now, I'm going to write Supabase hyphen trial, and then I'm going to press enter. Downloading files, for example, with Supabase, this might take a moment. So let's wait until the project is done. So Supabase has created this project for us, and it is saying that inside that directory you can run several commands. npm run dev to start the development server, npm run build to build, npm start run the build app in production mode, and we suggest that you start by typing CD Supabase trial. So let's just begin and see what they have for a CD Supabase trial, and then we can just go simply. Okay, but before we do that, let's open the code in our Visual Studio Code by code dot, and then we are going to say npm run dev. So since the project is opening, let's go back to our Visual Studio Code and see what they have provided with us. So let me just begin with what this flag that we command that we wrote in our terminal, what actually means. So what is happening is Supabase has provided us with pre-built, or we can say pre-set up mechanism for a basic user authentication system, like how the basic user authentication system with email and password is done. So what we can do now is with that command, we can create a new project in our Supabase using Next.js framework. So what will happen when we do that? We will get this directory, and it's a simple directory you can see with a few extra code that we get from outside from our Next.js project that we create from the scratch. So what I mean is, let's go back to our code and see what I'm trying to say. So when you create an application in Next.js from scratch, you don't get this middleware.ts file. Okay, so you will have to create this middleware.ts, and inside this middleware.ts, you can actually see that we don't have anything else. We just have this update session inside the request, and it's a normal middleware export async function, and that's all. Here is some matchers, which is you can just ignore this for now. So apart from this, we have this .env.example that we are going to use later. What we have right now is this utils, and inside this utils we have the Supabase directory. So inside the Supabase, we have these few files created with client.ts, where we have created this simple create client from Supabase slash SSR, which is server side rendering, and they are getting create browser client from them. And then inside the Supabase, we have middleware.ts, and inside it, there's a lot of code right written here. And we can just ignore this code for now. We don't really need to see what is happening here. They are just setting a bunch of cookies and then getting it. Then you can see like a request.cookies.set with name and values, and then response.next. They're basically sending the response, and then the response they are getting, they're setting the cookies through the response. And then here they are removing the cookies, so they will be using it later. And here this is await supabase.auth.get user, and the Supabase that they are using to get the user is nothing but our normal create server client. And below this we have this server.ts, and inside this they have basically created this server side component for our Supabase using create server client, and they fetched it from Supabase SSR and then cookies from next less headers, and then they basically set and get the cookies, and here they are removing the cookies. So that's all they have done here for us. Now, when we go back to our components, so inside the components, they have a few PSX code. since it is written in TypeScript. So they have here next logo and Supabase logo and bunch of headers with some links and our Supabase logo, and then the Next.js written, and we can leave all this. What we need to see is when we come inside this app directory, we get this auth folder pre-built. And what this auth folder does, it gives us this callback. And inside this callback, here this route.ts. So what this does is when we log in and when when the user is authenticated, it needs to come back to a callback page. So once the authentication is done, this callback route will be called, and then user will go back to our origin slash protected routes. Here they have already created this protected routes. So once we log in, we will see what happens. So what I have right here is this auth slash callback route, and then here this login page with normal submit button, and then this protected page which is being protected by the user. They are checking it here. So if there is no user, we will redirect to the login. But if there is a user, we will show the user somewhere below. So we can just save it, and we can check if the code is running. Okay, so the code is running. We can go and copy this localhost right like this, and then go back to our browser. What am I doing? And then we can go back to our browser and then paste the code. And now we are on the home page with localhost 3000. And what they did is they have created this simple home page for us with a bunch of steps actually. And they are asking us to follow the step to get it running. So we are going to follow each and every step to see how it works and how it can help us to create a simple authentication. And we can leave all the hectic things that we need to do for the first time authentication and sign up for a user. We can just get started with our project. So, and they also give this simple deploy to Vercel. So if I click on it, then we will be get redirected to this our Vercel homepage where we deploy our application. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to follow their advices, the steps that they have provided, and then we are going to see what happens. So it is asking us to create a Supabase project. Head over to database.new to create a new Supabase project. But I'm going to just pass on this step because I have already created a project that I'm going to reuse it. So when I click on it, they simply just you know cross it so that it says that we have done this step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now follow the second step and declare environment variables. So it's saying that rename the .env example file in your Next.js app to .env local, and then populate with the values from your Supabase project API setting. So let's go and quickly do this. So when I close this, and then this is our .env.example, I'm going to replace it with .env.local and then press enter. Now we can go back to our project's API settings from here, and then click on this API, and then we get this URL and then this anon public project API key. We are going to copy it, paste it in the place of URL like this, and then this API key, copying it and then pasting it in place of this anon key. So when I do this, we got our API key set up. Now when we come back here, it is saying that okay, so when as soon as I saved it, something happened here, and all the menus have changed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to follow this advice which says that sign up your first user. So let's go to the login page, and here it is asking us to set up our new user. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my ID like this, and then we are going to create a secure password which is this, and then when we sign up, then okay, so it gives us the check email to continue signing process. So when we go back to our gmail.com, we might have an email from them which is like this. So when I click on it, we get this confirm your email, and as soon as I click on it, we will be redirected to our slash protected route. Oh, one good thing here, it is giving us this hey and then my email. Let's go back to the code and see what is happening behind the scene. So they are giving there some more steps. We can follow this. So I would suggest you guys to follow these steps so that you can explore it a bit more and see what Supabase is providing us with. So it is really simple. You're just going to do a bunch of copy pasting. Let me just show you for once how it's going to work. Head over to table editor for your Supabase project, create a table. Or if you are stuck for creativity, you can copy and paste the following into SQL editor. So what we're going to do now, we are going to go to our SQL editor like this, and then we are going to simply paste this query right here and then run it. It is saying that it is a success and no rows are returned. And here we have got this our notes. So if we click on it, so we got this three rows, the same three rows that it is asked us to add that ran our query over. So we got this three rows here like this. So it is pretty awesome, right? So you don't have to do anything. They are just providing guys with how to get started with our super Next.js Supabase application, and it is pretty fun doing. But I'm not going to show everything. I want you guys to explore it a bit more to understand what is happening, how it is working. I'm just going to go over the codes right now. So I click on it, and then this is for you guys. You guys just do it. You just need to fetch the data that you have entered here, and then you can follow their steps how you can do it. Just read the instructions, follow the code, and then you are good to go. So why did we land on this slash protected route? So if you guys remember, I just shown you that auth slash callback slash routes. So what was happening? So as soon as we got the code, this function ran in behind the scene, and then it exchanged the code for the session. And as soon as we got the code, our session was set and the user was authenticated. So I hope it is clear to you guys how it is working. We got the code, we exchanged it with the session, and then the user was authenticated. And as soon as the user was authenticated, he was redirected to this origin, and origin are whichever the domain name we are using, whichever the it is our origin, and slash protected is our route that where we will be redirected to. We can change it if you have any other protected route or any other page where you want to redirect the user to. You can just do this right here, and then instead of slash protected, the user will be redirected to the place where you want to send him. So it is pretty easy to set up, nothing more to do. You just need to change a few things, and there's this middleware.ts inside visit inside this utils supabase.middleware. So here the cookies are being set like this. You just need to provide the URL and anon key. So if you go back to our Supabase, here inside the authentication, you will see the email from which I, signed up. And then the provider was email created at this, and then last sign in this, and this is my user ID. So when we are working on the server side, this is this part of the code which runs and they take care of everything. So you can see it right here. You can just go to this util slash supabase, then middleware.ts, and then you can go to this util slash supabase, and inside this you can go to this middleware.ts, and you can explore the code, what it is doing, what it's trying to say. And I think there's everything done here. I've told you everything what it is going. I just want you guys to explore the code a bit more, try to change a few UI things, and then try to add a few more things like here we have worked on this, if you see here this sign in with password. I want you to guys try a few more things like try to sign up with a provider like GitHub or Google. So it will be fun to do. And if you like this video, just let me know in the comments. And if there's anything that I missed or you think I should just mention it in my video, do let me know in the comment section. I will definitely try to cover it in my next video. So thanks for watching and be with me till the next one. Thank you.